No, you can't hear me. You will do in a second. Once the time lag's gone, you should catch up with you. I set all my nice things up and I've entirely forgot about having some sound. You must be able to hear me, surely.
Hang on, that's it.
Yes, there we go. Look, microphone. It's amazing what a microphone can do.
Yeah.
I shall have to have a handheld microphone for now because I entirely forgot about putting a microphone on. What sort of technical guidance is this, I ask you? It's absolutely rubbish. Sack him, I hear you say. Anyway, where were we? Yes, I'm doing this on a MacBook, but you could equally do it on a loud. Did you say? Miss P keeps shouting things behind me and it's impossible.
You need me to hold it?
I don't need you to do anything, my sweet. Thank you. Perhaps maybe shut up, maybe, would be good. I don't mean that. Honest. She's going to throw things in a second. Yes, I'm doing this on a MacBook. You could equally do it on a PC, so long as you've got a version of Word. I've got Word from Office 2019, but older versions will work equally as well, I'm sure. So the first thing we need to do is to open up Word. So let's do that. I'll disappear and you'll just see the Word screen. There we go. And we're going to open a blank document. And there we go. Now all we can see is the screen. And the first thing we need to do is to find a image, one that we've purchased from Etsy or elsewhere, and insert it into our document. To do this, the first thing we need to do is go up to the top where it says Insert, click on Insert, and we are going to insert a picture, and we're going to do it from the file. There we go. I'm going to go, normally it would appear in your downloads. I'm going to go to Recents because I know there's one on there that I've used recently, and it's that one there. And normally when you get the images, this is how they can sometimes appear when we have 9 to a page in a size that equates to what they call ATCs, artist trading cards. They're sort of small little bits that artists do and send to each other. But basically it's just 9 images on an A4 size of paper. And we're going to insert that into our Word document. These particular ones are from My Porch Prints. Always worth checking them out because they do some lovely images. Now, once we've inserted that, or you could print it directly, they will basically come out at the size that they are. They may not be suitable, of course, if you want it for a tag or a journaling card, or maybe the complete cover of a journal.
It's from Antique Paperie.
It says My Porch Prints, it says on the bottom. Oh, Pink Monarch. It says
Pink Monarch.
it says Pink. I'm wrong, Miss P's wrong. These ones are from Pink Monarch. It only says in big letters across the bottom. But yes, Pink Monarch. Oh, again, always worth checking out. One of Miss P's favourite places to search. But if we wanted, say, one of those images, we need to extract it from the rest. The first thing you always need to do when you insert an image is when you open it, it puts it on the page as if it's stuck to the page. So you can't sort of move it around and manipulate it. So the first thing you need to do is to right click, go down to where it says Wrap Text, and move along, and we need to put it in front of the text. And what that effectively does is unstick it from the page, so it's now free floating above the page, so we can move it to wherever we want. The next thing we need to do is we click on it, on the image, and you get the box around it. As you can see there, it's within its box. And now you'll find at the top, it's opened up a new set of options in where it says Picture Format, and one of those is Crop. If you click on the Crop, you'll then find that it puts drag bars in the corners and the middle around the image. And if we chose an image, say that one middle left, and we just wanted that one, what we do is drag the bars up to the bottom of it, down from the top to it, drag in the sides, drag in the other side, and there we are. We've isolated that image from the others. If we now enter, we'll find that we've got that single image on its own that we can move around the page anywhere we like. If we were to go back to crop, because you weren't quite happy with the way that you've done it, or you wanted to select something else, if you just click on the crop again, you'll see that it brings back all of the original image, and then you can again move the bars around, or you can move that image behind and select that one, select that one, select that one, select whichever one you want. And because we've already sort of dragged it into roughly the right size, you can select any of those, having just cropped the once. The next thing we can do, of course, is that again is still the original size that it was when it was inserted. So what we need to do is to resize that. You'll notice up on the top right hand side, top right hand corner, next to where we went to crop, there's a couple of boxes, one that says height and width. If we wanted it to be a specific size, either height or width, then we can see, at the moment it says 3.17 on the height, we can change that to 6, and it will automatically, because that's ticked by the side with the linking them two together, it will automatically adjust the ratio for the width. So now that's come out conveniently at 6 by just over 4. It's probably just over 4, because you can see there is a little bit of a border around it, but it's close enough for our needs. So there we have one of our little original images now resized to 6 by 4, which would make a very nice journaling. Sound's back. This is turned into a right disaster on the sound. Yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure where we got up to before we lost the sound. But as I was saying, on the top right hand corner, there's the height and the width of the image. So you can set one of those to whichever one you want, and it will keep the same ratio as long as you've got the ticked by the side of it. If you don't tick that, you could change one or the other, but it would distort the image. So keep that ticked to keep the same ratio. At the moment that's set to 6 by 4, which would make a very nice journaling card size. If we were to change the top one to 3, you'll find that it changes the ratio to the bottom to 2, and keeps it as a very nice image, and that would be a nice little card for a corner tuck or a tuck spot, or to put in a very small envelope. As I was explaining, that you probably couldn't hear, that because these are JPEGs, you can make them much larger without losing any of the resolution of the image. At the moment, we can pop that into the corner. So as well as setting it manually at the top, we can also drag out the image to as large as we want, and that's virtually a complete A4, and you'll see that the resolution and the quality of the image is still just as good as it was when it was smaller. And that would obviously make a very nice A4 front cover of a book, or a centre spread, or whatever you want to use it for. Now, if we wanted to set that to say 6 by 4, which is a nice journaling card size, if we were to print that out, we're going to find that we waste a lot of real estate, shall we say, because once you've printed that out, if you cut that out, you're going to be left with a very odd shaped bit of paper. So the best thing to do, if you're going to be doing more than one, is to get more than one image on a page. So if you change the layout to the orientation and make it landscape, you'll find that it turns the paper but not the image. So now that's one 6x4 there, and then what we can do is if we reinsert the wrong button, we insert another picture from the file, but we make it the same set of cards. You'll see that that's inserted another version of it behind. Again, the first thing you do want to do is unwrap that by putting it in front of the text, and that'll unstick it from the page so we can move it around. Then what we can do is again go up to crop, drag it in and out and down. Let's find a nice different image. We'll go for that one, bring that in that way, bring that in that way. Let's just drag that, get back that there. Just drag that in, get a nice crop of that, and we now have a second image that again we can make the 6x4 if we wanted, which is about there-ish, or we can make it bigger if you wanted it bigger or smaller, but we'll again set the height to 6, which will put the width at exactly 4. That was a good guess, wasn't it? And then we now have the two images on the page. So that's two images that we've extracted from that and sized them to the size that we want to make it more useful for us. What we can do again now is insert another picture from the file, and this time we'll go to a slightly different one and find perhaps a sentiment. It's from the same set, so it should match reasonably well. Click through till we find a nice one that's got some sentiments on. That one, we can insert that one. Again, the first thing to do is to wrap the text, put it in front of the text so that we then can move it around. We'll find a nice one. We shall go to crop, bring that in, find a nice one, drag that up, drag it in, drag it in that way. And there you'll see, I'll make that bigger so you can see it, is a nice sentiment that says time together. You'll notice that it matches both cards quite well because it's from the same set, which is the beauty of these sets.
Holly jolly.
Yep, holly jolly. Now as you can see, we've sort of cropped that quite crudely because we have a white border around it, but that's no problem. The easiest thing to do is to make it as big as you possibly can, and then click on crop again, and then you can move it much nearer, tighter in, to get rid of that slightly white border which we don't want, particularly if we're going to place it over the top of something. We don't really want that white border. There we go. And then we can shrink that back down, and then we could put that, say, in the corner of that one, and there we go. That's added one image on top of another so that we can use that now as a journaling card, and it's got slightly more interest than it would have had on its own. So there we go. That's how we insert images into Word, how we can resize them, crop them out from other multiple images so that we're just left with the ones that we want. You can do that any number of times onto your A4 piece of paper to print it out once. And I think that really, without going into too much detail, really probably concludes today's live. Hopefully that should be relatively simple for you to do. We could run through the steps again very quickly. we shall open a new document. So you start with a blank piece of paper, go to insert, go to pictures, picture from file, open one of the files that you've got downloaded on your computer. Only you will know where you've put those. Anyone see that one? Insert that. First thing you always do is wrap the text, put it in front of the text, so that then makes it free floating on the page. Then you can, once you've selected the image, you get the dots around it. You'll find that crop appears in the picture format. Click on the crop and then you can crop into whichever part of the image you want. That one, because it's a weird shape, obviously you would have to trim it out after when you've printed it, but we could quickly zoom in on that one, enter that, and then we've got that one which we can then resize either by dragging the corner or going up to the top right hand side when it's got a height and a width, and you can set it to whichever one is the most appropriate. For instance, if we was again to set it to 6 inches, then it would come out as just under 4. So again, a very nice journaling card size. And because that one's got the rounded top, obviously you'd have to physically cut that around once you've printed it out, but that would also make a very nice journaling tag. So that's it. That's the quick run through. Open it up, unwrap it from the page so it's free floating, click on crop it to the size, and then resize it either by dragging the corner or using the manual settings in the top right hand corner. I hope that's all clear for you. I shan't hang around too long now, but thank you very much for joining us. If you've got any questions, obviously you could ask them on Miss Paintalot's Junk Journal group on Facebook. You're more than welcome to pop along and join us, where we have all levels and standards of people doing junk journaling. Beginners are particularly welcome because we cover subjects from the very basics. So we'll see you there. Let me shut that down. Quick word. I'll discard the changes, and then it should be back to me. What a good ending that is. All right, I'll see you again soon. Take care. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.